G'day guys, how's it going? Welcome back of course to the Time Bomb channel, and I hope all is good and excellent in your part of the world. Watch review today of the Seiko SMGG19P1, the new Rotocall. Regulars to the channel will know of course that I love digital watches, and when I saw this one I kind of felt that it was like a little bit of fresh air in the digital watch world. Yeah, might give a few other brands a little bit of a run for their money in the terms of how they view their sort of approach to watch designs. Before I get into the speccage, this one has been lent into the channel by the lovely people over at First Class Watches. Do hit them up, let them know you've come from the Time Bomb channel. They'll do their best to help you with price matching on any of the watches that they have. Let's just pause and zoom in to get close to this one. So just in case you didn't know about the back history, I think when these were released in the 80s, the originals then were kind of way ahead of the digital watch game. Clearly things have caught up since then though, so I think Seiko have made some interesting decisions with this one. I think the fact that the decision to keep things as original as possible, I think is really good. I respect it, because many other recreations, you know, Seiko themselves, they attempt to pander to modern trends, whereas here they've gone, no, we're keeping it original. Original, that is. I mean, yeah, except on the pricing. This is the sticking bit for me on this watch. They currently retail at £480 here in the UK. But as with most Seikos, the few months after price is probably worth waiting for. If you can't wait, do hit up First Class Watches, and I'm sure they'll do their best to help you. Key speccage then. So it's a smidge under 37 mils across. I mean, the bezel does overhang just a fraction. So your case body underneath is about a mil thinner. It's an uber manageable, just under, it's about 43 mils north to south, and sort of 10 and a bit mils deep. So these are approximate, because each time I measure it I kept getting something different. It sits then, the one I didn't get is it sits on 20 mil lugs, and that bracelet then tapers down to the clasp at around 16 mils. Up top you get Hardlex crystal. Obviously Seiko make this themselves, and I'm perfectly happy with them using it here. On this unsized steel bracelet, it weighs around 105 grams. So again, perhaps more heft than your average sort of digital watch. Comes with 100 meters worth of watery decency, which I think on something like this, again, is quite good. And as most of you will know, the greatest part of this is the signature bezel on this. It's an absolute blast, and it would probably have me flattening the battery in just a few months. So obviously, as you, again, I don't probably need to tell you this, the bezel rotates, and it's got the, as you rotate it, it moves the function. So at the moment, you see we're on the time setting, and we squidge it around here, and then we got to set the time there. There's that little click, a little click there up onto timer, and as you can see, each turn, twist of the watch, the watch's bezel moves those functions around. And again, I don't know, but I just think it's absolutely fantastic. So much fun. You've got 8 core functions there, and it sort of also removes the need for coping with the tiny buttons, for example, where so this one, the tiny buttons that you would normally get on digitals. And it also removes, as is the case on this one, for example, the need to either connect it to your phone to do anything that you need to do with it, or alternatively, it removes the need for pressing a whole bunch of button sequences that most of us keep forgetting. I also like as well the aspect of the split screen there. So if, for example, I can't see very well through the through here, so let's bung it on stopwatch. So we've got stopwatch running at the top there, and the fact that you've got that split screen aspect allows you to keep the time down below. And I don't know, if I'm using a stopwatch on something, I like to know what time it is as well. I don't want to miss that. So again, that's nice as well. Then as well, at the moment, as you can see, there aren't any beeps, but the rumor is, and I haven't tested this, so we'll test it live on camera. If you hit the bottom 2 buttons together, no, that hasn't worked. Try it again. No, excuse me, I'm in the wrong function. I need to be in time. So I did forget that it's a bi-directional bezel. So now we're in time, not timer. I can't see through it. I need new glasses as well. So let's try that again. So if you hit, so when you're in the time function, standard time function, you hit these 2 buttons apparently, There we go. And then what we should get is a beep, he says. So let's put it on to, say, time. So that's it. Let's put it on timer, counter. Yeah, and there we get our beep, digital beep. Nice. Okay, good. There we go. Nice to see that we can get the functions. And now if I just twist it back up to the top again, really frustrating not be able to see through the camera. Anyway, you do get a little LED light as well, actioned by a button down here at the 8 o'clock. Again, I'll just see a fraction there, but I'll probably dark shot up here. I think it lights up the screen quite well. I mean, we could always ask for a little bit more, but again, I think it's entirely fit for purpose. On to the back of the watch. You get a screw-in case back, and I think that's a really nice touch as well, because frankly, I think they could have easily just gone with using screws to hold in a back plate here, so nice to see that. And it also means that it's quite large, that back plate, so it's case back. So what that means as well, when you shove it on wrist, I think it sits nicely and comfortably. It doesn't, the bottom of the watch doesn't protrude in any way, so again, it sits nicely there. And I think, yeah, on wrist, it's very, very pleasant. It does have some heft because of the steel, but again, I quite like that. The 5-link bracelet perhaps isn't the best choice. I think they've got other bracelets that they could have put on here, which would perhaps match the watch head a little bit more or a little bit better. It is perhaps a little bit better than, most of the standard steels that you get on Casio watches, and I would say that this steel square is the exception, because this bracelet is far, 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 far better, and the clasp is also far superior as well. As you can see here, you've got this pressed stamped affair, which I think is just a little bit of a shortcut. I like the fact that you've got a smaller clasp here, because obviously then something much longer would have been an imbalance with the watch head, so that bit, the length of that is good, but again, give us a better clasp, and give us a slightly better bracelet. I mean, here's the Casio, the G-Shock one in comparison, and they're not dissimilarly priced. I think this one is actually a fraction cheaper. I do wonder if in the future, when they release new color versions of these, whether they also issue the original rubber strap that these came on back in the 80s. Talking of the 80s, if you hadn't heard of this one from the 80s, I don't think it matters. I think it's cool without the backstory. It's got that modern day utility and good looks. Alternatives, you might look at the Casio, for example, a little bit cheaper, and then, as I say, maybe this digi square here as well, a fraction cheaper, but also then a bit larger and heavier. So yeah, be great to hear your thoughts on this one. I think in conclusion, if you're in the market for a function-filled digital, then perhaps the G-Shocks are still the winners. But if you're in the market for something that little bit different, a little bit fun, and as I say, with that beautiful bezel action on here, which pops you around to those different functions, I think, yeah, I mean, I'd deaden the battery on this in a couple of months because it's so much fun to play with. Anyway, huge thanks to the guys over at First Class Watches for the loan of this one. I had really good fun reviewing this one. Over to you guys. Let us know your thoughts down below. I know Iger, you mentioned this one a couple of months ago, and I was like, yeah, I want to get it in so that I can show you what it looks like in person. Huge thanks to you guys for your time and view as always, and we'll catch you very soon in the next watch vid. Cheers now.